She's really sad. She's really heartbroken.
Miss McKelty's moving tomorrow. We're driving her and her kids cross country tomorrow. It's really hard. I thought you said you wanted.
Mom, you're doing an amazing job.
You know, you and I have never thought this. We thought the same.
But she's really sad because she's definitely gonna miss out on a lot of the years that my kids are young.
It's like Aspen and Isabel don't have kids yet, and they're not gonna have kids for a while, and I want my kids to have cousins. Plus, we'll be close to Maddie.
Christine Brown becomes deeply emotional when her daughter decides to move to North Carolina. McKelty and Tony made this move more than a year ago, but the show is only now covering it. Kody will finally talk about why he didn't show up to say goodbye to McKelty. Interestingly, Robyn, who for years claimed that McKelty was like her own daughter and often said, "These babies are my babies," was also nowhere to be seen. She even used to sleep in the closet when McKelty had her twins, insisting that those were her grandchildren too. But when it came time to say goodbye, both Robyn and Kody stayed away. It was the last time they could have seen McKelty and Tony before they moved across the country, yet they missed that moment. The distance between them now is huge, and that decision has left Christine heartbroken. Meanwhile, Mary is out trying speed dating, but that part feels awkward and uncomfortable to watch. Christine jokes that Tony never allowed her to live a plural marriage, meaning she doesn't have sister wives to help her raise her kids. So for her, the closest thing to a big family is the cousins growing up together. She laughs it off, saying, "No bullying me," but the tension is clear. Christine admits that many outsiders thought plural marriage looked easy because of their show. But she says that's not true at all. It was hard and emotionally draining. In reality, their lives were full of pressure and imbalance. In her book, Christine revealed something about her oldest daughter, Aspen. Aspen once told her that she was done living her mother's life and wanted to live her own. Growing up, Aspen had to help raise her younger siblings because Kody was rarely around. She became almost like a second parent instead of just being a daughter. This is something that often happens in big families, especially in their community, where the oldest daughters take on too much responsibility. Over time, that can cause burnout and even strain the relationship between mother and daughter. McKelty also carried a lot of that emotional weight. One major reason she decided to move away was because she was tired of being caught in the middle between Christine and Kody, especially when it came to her younger sister Truly. She often had to manage their communication, handle drop-offs and pick-ups, and keep peace between them. Though she once had a good relationship with Kody, she began to feel used and emotionally drained. Eventually, she wanted space, a chance to build her own life without being pulled into her parents' drama. Now that McKelty has moved, another major update has surfaced: Aspen won't appear on Sister Wives ever again. On her Patreon, McKelty shared that Aspen has chosen to stay away from the cameras completely. The scenes we recently saw of Aspen with Maddie and Yunel were filmed before her pregnancy. Now that she has had her baby, she wants her child's life to remain private. She doesn't want her pregnancy, or her kids featured, or even mentioned on the show. Aspen seems ready to close that chapter and protect her family from the reality TV spotlight. In the end, all of this shows a family drifting apart, parents missing goodbyes, children setting boundaries, and everyone trying to heal in their own way. According to McKelty, her sister Aspen has completely left the show and doesn't plan on coming back. McKelty herself won't be appearing much either, now that she's moved far away from most of her family. She and her husband Tony relocated to North Carolina, but they're still several hours from Maddie and Yunel, which makes it hard for them to film together or see each other often. Life has become busy and demanding for McKelty. She works full-time to help support her family, while Tony focuses on his passion for chess, teaching, creating online content, and trying to build a career as a professional player. He doesn't earn a large income yet, so much of the financial pressure falls on McKelty's shoulders, as she juggles work and raising 3 young kids. Traveling to visit family isn't easy either. Money is tight, and Kody and Robyn have never made the effort to visit them. The last time McKelty saw her father and Robyn was at Garrison's funeral in March 2024. Since then, there has been little to no contact. Aspen, meanwhile, has stepped away from the show entirely. She doesn't want her life, her pregnancy, or her child to be part of a reality series anymore. Tony's move to North Carolina is a big opportunity for him. He now works with a major chess institute where he coaches kids and adults, creates educational content, and grows his visibility in the chess world. This career path makes him happy, as it lets him focus on something he truly enjoys instead of working in a job he dislikes. For McKelty, the move has been eye-opening. On her Patreon, she often talks about seeing her parents more clearly now, understanding who they are without making excuses for them. She sometimes defends them, but no longer feels sympathy for Kody the way she once did. In fact, she's openly said she can't stand him anymore. A big reason behind that resentment is the show itself. The ongoing drama between Kody and Christine has caused tension among the kids. Aspen doesn't want to be dragged into that cycle anymore. She's tired of having her life revolve around her parents' fights. Neither Aspen nor McKelty is under a TLC contract, and when they do appear, they earn very little, sometimes just a small amount paid by Christine. They mainly participate out of love for their mother, but both are exhausted by the constant emotional turmoil. Aspen works full-time as a store manager, and her husband has a steady job in construction. They live quietly and prefer not to be recognized for the family's drama. They want to be known for their own lives, not as part of sister wives. McKelty feels the same way. She's tired of Kody's behavior on the show, how he constantly blames others, refuses to take responsibility, and treats relationships as conditional. He recently said he would only help Mary and Yunel if they were kind, which deeply offended the kids. They see his attitude as manipulative and self-centered, and most of them have emotionally distanced themselves. Kody and McKelty never had an easy relationship. She clashed with him as a teenager, often rebelling against the family's strict rules. Her bond with Robyn once helped her stay close to her father, but that connection has now vanished. With Aspen, Logan, Gwendolyn, and several others stepping away from filming, it's clear that the next generation is done with sister wives. The show that once brought the family together is now driving them apart. McKelty has officially stepped away from the show. Hunter doesn't appear on it anymore. Garrison has sadly passed away, and we rarely see Savannah. Gabriel has also been absent this entire season, and may not show up at all. With so many of the Brown kids gone, it's hard to imagine what the show still has left to cover. Strangely, McKelty mentioned that filming is still happening for another season, but it's unclear what storylines remain. The family has drifted apart, and the once large cast has mostly disappeared. In the upcoming episodes, the focus seems to be shifting to Mary, who goes out speed dating. The problem is that the scene feels more staged than real. Mary acts annoyed that the men make jokes about her being a polygamist or a celebrity. But that frustration doesn't make much sense, because the entire date was filmed for television. Every man she talked to had to wear a microphone and sign a waiver to appear on camera. These weren't random people she met by chance, they were part of a planned production. So, when Mary pretends to be shocked that they mentioned her fame or her past with plural marriage, it comes off as fake drama created just for TV. Mary could have chosen not to film the date if she didn't want that attention. But she agreed to it, knowing what the show is about. Of course the men would mention sister wives *. They were sitting across from one of its main stars, with cameras rolling. It's strange for her to act offended about something that's obviously part of the situation she helped create. The whole scene feels forced and out of touch, showing just how much the show has lost its sense of authenticity. At this point, the family's storylines are running out. Most of the kids have grown up, built their own lives, and want nothing to do with reality TV. They are tired of having their private moments turned into public drama. With McKelty, Hunter, Gabe, and Savannah stepping back, and others like Logan, Aspen, and Gwendolyn already gone, there's little left to film besides the parents. And even that feels repetitive. The relationships are broken, the marriages are over, and everyone is living separate lives. It's becoming obvious that the show is surviving mostly on old habits. TLC keeps renewing it, hoping fans will keep watching, but the emotional heart of the series, the family's unity, has disappeared. Christine has moved on, Yanelle is focused on her own life, Mary is still searching for purpose, and Kody seems more isolated than ever. Without the children's presence, the storylines feel thin and empty. The truth is, the show might be nearing its end. Once built on the idea of a big loving plural family, it now feels like a collection of disconnected adults trying to stay relevant. Every new episode feels less about real life, and more about stretching what little drama remains. Viewers who once cared about the Browns' journey now watch mostly out of habit or curiosity. With nearly everyone quitting except the older cast members, the future of *Sister Wives* seems uncertain. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.